Hello,
Hey, Ravana.
can you hear me? Hi. I'm sorry, I came very early, so I was keeping quiet.
That's okay. I think my voice was echoing last time, so apologies if my voice echoes.
Little bit, yes, it is echoing. Is it? Do you want to open the window or something?
Is that better?
Sometimes it works, or maybe the headphone. Maybe. Helen.
I'm just going to get some headphones.
Yeah, no worries. Helen, can you hear me? Hi, Tara.
Hi, I can hear you, and I'm not supposed to be able to hear you, I don't think.
Oh, you can hear me.
Yeah.
Oh dear, what's happening?
So I can just see on the screen it's you, Helen, and Letty.
Oh yeah.
So you might be live, girls.
Okay, shh. We are live. Hello, can we start, please? John? Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming for this session. It looks like Helen is having a problem with the audio and video. She is trying to get back. We have Letty and myself. The first talk is we are going to talk about the work-life balance and how to get the professional support from the SCTS. We thought that we will just put a presentation together and then do a recorded session, but it's not that going to be possible because after the COVID pandemic, we all are having quite a lot of heavy work and also life and work, and plus SCTS, working in the SCTS, it's putting a lot of us into lots of other problems. So that's what we thought is we are just going to reflect on how was our health and well-being for staff has become the priority for last year. It is quite a lot problematic for, especially for the surgical practitioners, or whether it's nurses and allied health professionals. We are having quite a lot of pressure doing work and also juggling the families and everything. Hi, Helen is back. Helen?
Sorry about that.
It's okay. I was just introducing how we are going to do this session and everything. Helen, would you like to take over?
Okay, thank you. Well, I could hear you, Bhavana, but unfortunately you couldn't hear me. But yeah, so this is really a very informal session for the end of the day on a Sunday afternoon. And the idea is not really to repeat what is being done in so many organisations now post-pandemic, where the health and well-being of the staff has become a real priority, and rightly so, after everything that everybody has experienced over the last 12 months. And with that in mind, we know as well that as services are beginning to resume and get back to normal, it probably feels that we're even more busy now, because we're still in that recovery phase, but we're also very mindful of the growing waiting lists and the pressure that is on us now to really try and catch up. So what we hope to really talk about in this session was actually how the society can support its members and potential members with other opportunities, and particularly things like educational opportunities that many organisations have had to perhaps put on hold, really, given the circumstances, and how the society has adapted. I mean, here we are at our first virtual meeting, for goodness sake. You know, if there's ever an example of how it's adapted, and that is by no mean feat of the meeting organising team and what they've put together, but actually, I mean, here I am at work doing this today. Now I happen to be on with colleagues who are very happy to step in for my responsibilities this afternoon while I'm doing this, but that would not have been possible in a face-to-face meeting. So it has, as well as having huge challenges, there has actually been some dividends from this, from the pandemic, that we are able to exploit, really, through virtual platforms such as this, even though some of us have a little bit technical difficulties. But things like, for example, the education, being able to access webinars on a Saturday evening, maybe while you're doing something else, but able to listen to it at the same time. That one might argue that actually that impinges negatively on our work-life balance, because it might feel that we don't get away from it. But alternatively, I think, as we found, and testament to the number of people that have dialed into these webinars at that time, actually, a lot of people really like that flexibility of being able to do something perhaps outside of normal working hours and have access to that. So it is about getting the balance, and the beauty of a virtual thing is we can dip in and out of it. But the society is really keen to support members in a whole. I mentioned education to start with, but it isn't just education. There are other ways of supporting through networking and sharing stories, sharing experiences and things. And as you've heard in some of the previous sessions, access to research opportunities and other support systems that are there. That means professional development and personal development does not have to stop because of the circumstances that we find ourselves in. So Bhavana, I don't know if you wanted to come in. We'd had hoped to do this as a bit of a question and answers and taking live questions, but obviously it all has to be done via the chat. So I'm afraid it's just our voices that you get to hear.
Yes, that is a main problem, isn't it? And it's working very well from morning. It is really well. The one thing I want to say is, yes, I agree with you. The COVID pandemic has lots of problem with us imposed, and especially on the nurses and allied health professionals. We are the one who has been taken from one area, from our comfort zone, to this ITU or recovery, wherever here and there. That is one of the main reasons that we don't want to put this. And education, really everyone enjoyed. Most of the allied health professionals said that they can sit at home or cook, especially me. I always cook when Helen calls. And we can do what we want to do. And also we can access other problem of it. And the NAHPs were saying that they do not need to be the kids. They do not need to travel for the courses. So this has made quite a lot of virtual courses are coming from the SCTS. We are trying to support as much as possible. So first thing what we want to do, myself and Helen, is we want to please type, how are you? Are you really motivated? The second thing is tired or thankful. So what you feel, these three, then we will move along. So we got only 6 slides. It will be really nice if you can do a chat, please. So just tell us how you are, and also whether motivated, tired, thankful, wanting to travel, missing the family and friends, or are you feeling positive or negative, or really like us struggling with their technology or embracing the technology? Please tell us. Just we will give few minutes, and please type your questions, please, or answer just how you are feeling.
And I suppose as well with that is thinking about support from organisations. I mean, one of the things that I've seen recently, and it's something that that my own organisation has done here at Barts Health, is all staff have been given one additional day's annual leave in this next year. And I've noticed on various social media feeds that's happening in quite a lot of trusts. I know it's happening in a lot of the London trusts, and I think elsewhere now. And actually, my feeling now is that should be a national initiative, really, and it shouldn't be a case of where you work if you get that extra day's holiday. It might feel like a small gesture, but actually when you think about the number of staff that impacts on, it's huge, and it's a very, very generous gesture. But actually, why isn't it everywhere? Is it everywhere? So please take it back to your organisations if that's not happening where you work, that it is happening in a lot now. And I personally think it's something that every organisation should be doing.
Yeah, but as you are correct, it should happen everywhere. It should be nationally. Isn't like I'm in Manchester, we are not getting anything, Helen. We have not even taken our own holidays from last year because we are constantly working, and it is sad. And we are more. I think I never used to wear glasses. Now I have to wear glasses because of constantly we are on the laptop or phone or anything. It is difficult.
No, Ivana, that's your age. Just definitely.
There are some questions have come that most of them are said that motivated and returning back and thankful for the positive development. And they really want to travel as well, Victoria said. And Carol said that really thankful and future developments as well positive. And that is only one thing as well, isn't it, for work-life balance? That's what we always argued with the SCTS executives, and also you've been there in that position as well. And what we are trying to do is looking at the way of NAHPs is different, because we have lots of things to juggle in our life. And by doing this, online education is one of the best adaptation for us, and we learn quite a lot as well. And as executives or people who are going to come for the subcommittees, what I'm trying to say is we are expanding us. That means everybody will have only 1 day or 2 days dedication to the society. That means we will have bigger team, bigger aspirations, and also new visions will come. That's what we are working. That's what you started, isn't it, Helen?
Absolutely, and again, I'm sure Tara's on this in this meeting. When Tara was in the position a few years ago, I mean, Tara was doing pretty much everything in terms of the different aspects of the role as the nursing and NAHP lead, which meant it was a phenomenally big job and a huge ask really of one individual. And actually under Tara's leadership and subsequently Chrissy and then myself and now you, Bhavana, we have developed a team within that, so that the work is shared out. But also it allows the growth of opportunities and things that we can do within the society. So it remains busy, but there is more. I think there are more colleagues to be able to share that with. I mean, again, thinking about this meeting. And I mean, Daisy has done a phenomenal job in being the nursing and NAHP lead to organise the meeting, but that in itself, without any of the other things, was a huge amount of work. So it is important that we've got those teams now to share it.
Yeah, it is important to work as a team, isn't it? We are moving towards individuals. It's really, I don't know how Tara did it. She is a great woman, only she can do it. Jiggling everything is very, very difficult, and having a good team and also bringing the new people and new visions. And I think we are going to grow more and more, far better and better. And also we will have more time to our family, and also we'll have time to our work as well. As you are so dedicated, you are working from home. There are people have said that forum used to motivate each other, and Tara edited as well. And this meeting is a great to share, and absolutely I agree. I was having a unit rep after whatever you left, Helen, and most of them were saying that they need that physical contact as well. The one thing they come for the forum, especially for the city forum or for the main university day, is for that eye-to-eye contact and also networking and speaking to each other, sharing the discussions. I hope we will get that back soon, hopefully next year.
I think we will, and I think if I would imagine that future meetings will possibly become a hybrid, really, of which again has its advantages in that if people are able to travel and can do that, then there will be that opportunity to do so. But similarly, for those who for whom whatever that might be prohibited, then there is the opportunity to dial in and access online. So I think that would probably be the best of both worlds.
And another thing I want to ask, as well, what do you, as a member, what you all like for SCTS to do for you, please? If you can type those, please. Thank you so much, whoever typed whatever we asked, how you are feeling, and motivate exciting things. If you can type, how can we help us from here? What can we do which will improve our relationship?
And with that, what would you like more of, and perhaps what do you think you would like less of? What do we what is there anything that you probably think is less important?
So I think less important is, I don't think I will say anything less important. The more we get from the SCTS is far better. More funding, more research, collaborative research nationally. And also what I'm thinking is the informal discussion. Like we have so many experienced, whether it's a junior level to the advanced level, we all come, sit together one day for a 2 hours meeting or half an hour with the panel of experts, tell our problem, what we come across. Maybe I don't know how to see the ECG, or maybe a patient came very bad and they had serious of this, and how can I approach that patient? How can I do that? Or even with the multidisciplinary team, I'm having a problem with working colleagues. How can I work together? What are the resilience, things we can put in place so that's what we want to start, an informal forum discussion. That is my one of the aim, Helen. Not only education, but giving people to disseminate their work and also share the feelings and also just networking.
Definitely.
And that we can do it because we don't need a place to go and book. We don't need to spend money. We don't need to go far. We can sit from our bedroom or from office and we can share. That's what we need to do.
Definitely.
And Jody said that more multi-professional study days. Of course, Jody, you are going to be one part of it. You are doing on June. We are there. Hopefully by this year, we will have 7 multi-professional studies from ODPs, perfusionists, physiotherapists, everything, and also 1 webinar or 2 webinar a month. That's what we are doing it, Helen. So we have only 2 minutes.
I think as well, it is it's worth just reminding everyone as well about the amazing opportunity we have from the INSQ fellowships. That's a very, very generous grant that that the society is awarded on a pretty regular annual basis, and for the nursing and NAHPs there's the opportunity to apply for one of several £5,000 travel grants, and you can, taking into account the last 12 months, but when travel does open up again, you can get quite a long way on £5,000. And it's an opportunity to visit other organisations, other institutions that where you can benefit from other people's experience, international experience, bring it back to your own centre. And we'll be hearing tomorrow or Tuesday on the programme from people who have been awarded those fellowships. And it's often surprising, really, that we don't get more applications. And I think it's just possibly our fault for not sharing that more widely. It's often quite a quick turnaround in terms of the call going out and then the deadline, for various reasons. But do be thinking that if there's something that a place that you would like to visit, work that you would like to look at, to have something kind of ready to go when the call comes out, because I'm fairly confident that they will keep coming for a while.
Yeah, I agree with you, Helen. That is very, very important. I'm one of the winner as well. And it is very important for us to go and, really explore what is there outside and then bring the best practice. And we are supposed to finish quickly, but there is a one from Carol saying the sharing the local policies and guidelines. And absolutely, you are right, Carol. That's what is going to happen with that. Our new web. We are going to have a platform, and that's what tomorrow, I think, it's going to be, Clinton is going to be talk about it, and we will update all the local guidelines, policies, protocols, and that is going to be there as well in our new website. Thank you, Carol. I think we have finished, I think.
Goodness, that was quick.
Yeah, I think it is time is finished now, 4 o'clock going to be. Thank you so much for everyone listening. That's what we don't want to. We actually wanted to have an informal discussion, but it's sadly that it's all chat now. And I hope it was a little bit. If anything you want, you can contact Helen, or now Helen is want to step down and enjoy her time off. So I'm happy there to take any questions. And please, anybody wants to become a subcommittee, we are still motivating people. Please come.
Can I just
Thank you.
Can I say one more thing very, very quickly, Bhavani?
Yeah.
It's just about your unit representatives, because we have now got unit representatives in in all but about 4 cardiothoracic centres up and down the country.
38.
So please, we will make sure again on the website that those people know who their links are in in their own organisations. But traditionally, it's just been the medics that have had a unit representative for the SCTS, but we now have a nursing and HP representative in every organisation. So that is our link with the society. So
yeah, and thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Helen. Thank you so much for doing this. And just I want to tell everybody, there is, if you click at the bottom, there is a poll link, please. Myself and Helen can't see, but there is a poll link at the bottom on your left-hand side or right-hand side. Please click. It's already launched, and please vote. And the 30 seconds counting from now. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Letty Mitchell, and I am a movement artist, a mindfulness, meditation and yoga teacher. And I've been invited today to talk to you briefly about mindfulness and what mindfulness is. And I'll also be looking at how the role of mindfulness can support medical staff and patients. And I've been teaching for about 10 years now, and have a rich involvement, not just within the healthcare industry, but within the wellness, the fitness, the fashion and the creative industries as well. And I have a lot of connections with professionals working in these fields. And I have seen how the practice of mindfulness can transform lives. And I have seen the positive influence mindfulness has on different work environments. And my mission has always been to provide support and create communities where holistic healing can take place. And some of the research that I've previously looked at, and some of the questions are, how can mindfulness support our mental and physical health? How can mindfulness support a journey into further self-awareness? How can mindfulness and supporting techniques such as breath awareness and flow be used within the workplace and in rehabilitation to support health and well-being? And I want to look now briefly about what is mindfulness? What is mindfulness? And what I would like to do here is something a little bit different. I would like to share with you just a couple of minutes of breath work and mindful meditation. If you don't want to practice with me, that is absolutely fine. But I'm going to invite you just now, again, just for 2 minutes or so, to uncross your legs, to ground down through the feet, to sit comfortably with an extended spine, and then just to rest your hands into your lap. Or you can bring your hands onto your knees or to your thighs. If you're not comfortable closing the eyes, you're just going to look forward or look down on the floor beneath you. But if you are comfortable, just gently close the eyelids without tensing the muscles in the face. So what we'll do here is a very simple mindfulness exercise to promote the feeling of embodiment and presence. And what we can just start to do here again as we sit still with the eyes closed is feel the connection of your feet against the ground. It's that simple. I can feel the connection of my feet against the earth beneath me. I'm then going to work the awareness up my body into my legs, my pelvis, and my spine. A moment to see if I can soften the shoulders and the arms just a little bit more. And relaxing the face. And let's just spend the last few moments together as we sit still with the eyes closed to bring our full attention to the way that we are breathing. Just for a moment. I'm grounded and rooted. My spine is tall, my shoulders are relaxed. And as I close my eyes, I'm just being receptive to the way that I am breathing. Let's go for one more round of breath. And then slowly opening the eyes. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is presence. It is conscious awareness. It is pure observation. And in mindfulness meditation, what we're doing is we're cultivating the stillness and what I often refer to as self-intimacy. So we're observing the self, we're observing the inner landscape of ourselves, and we're observing our outer reality. And one of my teachers, the late Michael Stone, who was a phenomenal Buddhist teacher, he mentioned just a few words that I'd like to share. And he said that breath by breath, we work to hold a quality of courage. We connect rather than escape. Find liberation instead of reinforcing habit. And he goes on to say that the point of the practice is to be freer, to be who you are, without all the extras. The extras are often what causes suffering in ourselves and in others. And, you know, the conditions of suffering can absolutely be shed. But shedding these conditions does not only leave us with a sense of space and peace and calm, it develops greater understanding and enhanced capability to pay attention and to approach the moment with a beginner's mind. And mindfulness is a technique that we can use within anything that we do. So it just doesn't have to be a seated meditation. We can apply it in our everyday, day-to-day living to offer ourselves more space to observe our lives with more ownership and with more clarity. And acknowledging that our lives are a reflection of the state of our inner world, our inner landscape. It is a mirror, complete mirror. And mindfulness is going beyond the bias, beyond the kind of subconscious programmings and judgments that we have. It is beneath the to-do list. It's a sense of being. And in a way, it's a way of living that gives you the opportunity to start responding rather than reacting to what life throws at us. Without mindfulness, we become distracted by things that we do not need to give more of our energy or attention to. We get trapped in, self-damaging behaviors because the momentum of our lives forces us to continue running that hamster wheel, forgetting that all you need to do is pause, slow down, step off and tune in. And then the space. And then with all of this space, you can redirect your energy and your attention to things that are worthwhile, fulfilling and really benefit our well-being and thus the well-being of other people. And this is why I've personally spent so much time learning about these practices. I can tell you that these practices work. I often deal with episodes of quite strong depression and anxiety, and I know how mindfulness and meditation and deep breathing just allows us a little bit of comfort in knowing that everything passes, everything is cyclical. So looking a little bit more specifically of how the role of mindfulness supports cardiothoracic patients and staff. And by implementing mindfulness, patients will be supported in managing their vulnerability to stress, anxiety, and depression, optimizing the process of rehabilitation. Mindfulness and the technique of slowing down has been reported to improve cardiac, sympathetic and parasympathetic responsiveness to physical and mental stress, decrease the symptoms of depression, and enhance our ability to deal with illness and disease. And for cardiac thoracic staff, AHP, nursing practitioners, as well as de-stressing, mindfulness will help overworked staff to achieve the balance necessary and required to maintain mental and physical health. And according to the UK Cardiothoracic Surgery report in 2019, it clearly states that there has been important changes since 2015 in the organisation of the cardiothoracic surgical services, resulting in immense implications for staffing in these hospitals. And we are also now faced with a global pandemic as well. And an increase of research in mindfulness, psychotherapeutic approaches across a range of medical problems have been documented, and there have been positive effects on the respiratory, the cardiovascular, the circulatory systems, along with another array of positives and benefits for patients and staff. And we need to acknowledge that the effects of stress are often implicit, and rather than address where the stress is coming from, more so than often we invite more things into our experience to try and make us feel better. And quite often all we do is we plaster the root of the problem with addictions or medication, rather than doing the opposite, rather than stripping back to find the seed to that suffering. And quite often the seed to that suffering is our own mental subconscious programming, which causes disillusions and false narratives. Celebrated multitasking and consumerism in the Western world is sometimes something that marketing, I believe, thrive on. They abuse the vulnerability, we have as human beings, feeling unworthy and unfulfilled, and just a general sparsity mindset that we are never enough, and we never have enough. And most of you, that are listening to these presentations, you do work in hospitals, and they expect a very, very high workload upon your shoulders that does not often support the wellness of the staff. And we need to acknowledge that if we do not fully respect our needs and look after ourselves, we cannot be of service in our best light and in our best capacity. And just a few more benefits of the art and science of mindfulness: it really deepens your capacity for presence and stability. You are here in the now. You are right now in the now. You are here, you are feeling, you are breathing. You can reset, reassess, and then continue. Being aware of the sensations of our body and our emotions creates a doorway into further self-awareness, where we gather the techniques to overcome intrusive thoughts And I think importantly, especially in the workplace, we start to build a resilience rather than an adverse resistance. And another beautiful quote from Michael Stone, my teacher: our lives happen in the present moment. Often we are occupied and distracted that we don't have the skills for inhabiting the body in a way that's safe, still, and calm. There are different ways to cultivate the awareness produced by being mindful. And I just want to briefly, very, very briefly, touch on something else, because there are other ways of entering a meditative state. And one of the things that I have been personally researching is flow. Now, flow has rarely been investigated from a neuropsychological perspective, and there are very few clinical creative flow interventions within the cardiothoracic sector. Headspace, the science-backed online healthcare company that supported the NHS work staff during the COVID-19 pandemic, conceptualizes the word flow, or colloquially it's often referred to as being in the zone, as a felt sense of fluidity between the mind and the body. And flow is the contrasting, it's the contrast to stress. So it's the opposite of stress. And research has really reported that long-term chronic stress impinges on reaching that flow state and disrupts the immune protective effects on various psychological functionings. Flow is another form of meditation. You know, it's anything really that aligns your mental intention with physical heart-based action. And what I would like to just mention, you know, there's already a lot of research behind the mind and the heart and the body. The HeartMath, for example, is an institution that has been researching this coherence for about 25 years to neutralize stress and promote health. And this is important when speaking about mindfulness, because mindfulness is being aware of all of these things: the heart, the body, and the energy of the mind. And HeartMath research reveal emotions are reflected in heart patterns, heart rhythm patterns, and that a coherence of our heart and our mind and our body produced through meditation and mindfulness really allows you to understand, to bring yourself back to the beginner's mind and to understand who we are, how we're feeling, whether we need support. And again, like I mentioned earlier, it is a gateway and a springboard to responding to life that is more in relationship to our dharma and our purpose and our needs. So research has often also shown that when we meditate through heart, body, and mind, the heart rate variable imitate natural elevated emotions of the heart, such as love and compassion and gratitude. And these are all very high vibrational emotions that create peace and well-being and promote health. Joe Dispenza is a neuroscientist, and he's very heavy on creating a culture of mindfulness and meditation. And one of the things I want to mention here is that with meditation, he says, we can produce epigenetic variations that lead to real structural and functional changes within the body. So just to close, I just want to say that without the balance of stillness and introspection, it is easy to be consumed by work and social pressures. Mindfulness builds resilience and improves our ability to interact compassionately, suggesting it's very hard to be receptive to other people's suffering if we are unaware of our own. Mindfulness has infinite potential of enhancing the research culture of not just this speciality, but within other areas of the medical research and all global industries, which I have seen. And I would like to encourage you to use these principles outside of the workplace, into everyday living, into your home. How often have you walked into a room and you've forgotten why you're there, and then you walk back out again? It's just a moment to slow down and reflect. It is the autopilot behavior which we cannot blame ourselves for. There are certain things embedded in our nervous system for a reason. We need to retain information to a certain degree, but we are more capable than we think of experiencing and living our lives more consciously. And I'll end with, we can be more in control over our awareness than we often perceive. And the potential influence this can have on global healing is abundant. Thank you very much. Where Bruvana or Helen is, but thank you so much for listening, and if you have any questions, do let me know. You can catch me on bodybyletty.com, and I'll see you soon, so thank you.